Streets. This is your homegirl, Arabia Bosa 914, which is the county of New York. The BT 1000 is in the building. The BT 1000 is in the building. The Jeeper Creeper on this shit is in the building. Lucy the Vampire is in the building. The German Shepherd in the goddamn room is in the building. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. I hope everyone is having an awesome day today. Yo, you ever asked yourself why there is a such thing as a homeless population here in the United States? You ever asked yourself why are there so many prisons in the United States and why they continue to build prisons? Why homelessness is such an epidemic in this country? Has anyone ever asked themselves these questions? Have you ever wanted to know the answer? I'm going to tell you the real reason why there's a homeless population and why they have prisons. They have to have these things in a capitalist society because these two different populations, the homeless and the inmate population, is a physical example of what society plans on doing to you if you refuse to conform to their rules, if you refuse to bend your knees. These two populations are here in the United States as an example of what will happen if you don't accept the game rules that are set. See, it's all a setup. It's all a game. Some people, when you think about a game, some people think about dominoes. Some people think about video games. Some people think about sports. But nobody mentions the chessboard. Nobody mentions chess. Nobody mentions what each piece represents and what each piece means. We got a lot of Wire fans on this app. We got a lot of Wire fans on this platform. Does everyone remember when D'Angelo Barksdale was explaining to his people the game of chess? Does anyone remember what he said? Because when everyone thinks about the game chess, they think about the queen chessboard game piece. Because she is what? Considered the most powerfulest piece on the board. But the game does not begin and end with the queen. The queen just makes sure that everyone else does their job. Her job is to protect the king. So the game begins and ends with the chessboard piece, the king. Then the next most powerful piece on the board is the queen. Who is standing beside the queen in the chessboard game before the game begins? Is it the knight or is it the bishop? The bishop represents religion. The knight represents the bodyguards. The knight actually makes the L movement. That is the only movement that the queen does not possess. She possesses the power to move up and down the board. Straight, side, diagonally, but she doesn't have the moves of the knight. The knight can capture the queen. What is the rook there for? The rook represents the castle, the home. Who are the pawns? The pawns are the little bald head bitches on the chessboard. They're the foot soldiers, so they get capped in the game quick. They usually fall very quickly. But even in their death, the game goes on. Not saying that the pawn is not valuable or not important. Not saying that at all. The pawn is important because if the pawn is smart enough, it survives a good portion of the game, it can transform into a queen piece. It can become queen. But every other chessboard piece on the board remains who they are. Shout out to the chat. The game of chess can be won sometimes in 3 moves, sometimes in 6 moves, sometimes in 9 moves. Shout out to the chat. And sometimes the game can be won with the queen not being captured. Because you don't necessarily have to capture the queen. The main object of the game is to make sure that the king is put to death for the game to end. Checkmate is a very important move. It's very important. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But that is why the homeless population exists. That is why they have the prisons that they have. That is why they're building more, because they know that it's coming a time when they're going to have to make examples of the people that won't conform. And everyone knows what I'm saying is true. Everyone knows what I'm saying is true. They know it. Why do you think people worship celebrities so much? Why do you think people worship celebrities so much? You don't know that you're worshiping an elite force? They are the pawns that became queen. They are the pawns that were smart enough to make it to the end of the chessboard. Are the rest of you smart enough to make it to the end of the chessboard? Just because you've been here 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you think you're winning. No, you're not winning. And some of you feel frustrated because you know you're not winning. You know that. We've seen on the YouTubes, on these YouTube streets, what they got going on and who they are attacking the most in the sector. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. Let's see who's in the building. Uncle L, shout out to you in the building. Just Jay, thank you. Shout out to you. You're in the building. Grizzly, you're in the building. Hey, Lonnie, you're in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. Everyone is listening to the sound of my voice. Yeah, I just wanted to come up here real quick and say these things. So good afternoon, everyone. Yo, what's up, Lonnie? What's up? Yo, Lonnie, you a trip. You are something serious. But I appreciate you. Yeah, man. What's going on in these YouTube streets? And if you ever notice that there are certain women in this sector that are being attacked or have been attacked over and over again. Think about why that's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Think about what happened in history when certain kingdoms started falling away. What happened? Who became the scapegoat? Who became the human blood sacrifice? So that is why they have the homeless population still here in the United States. Because if they wanted to, they could actually end homelessness overnight. If they wanted to, they can empty all their prisons overnight. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yeah, but have you ever wondered why they're there? These things are here in place in front of you as a reminder. If you don't play the game like with the way we want you to play it, this is what's going to happen to you. If you don't play by our rules, this is what's going to happen to you. I don't know if anybody remembers, but during a time period here in the United States, they had a thing called a public execution. They did it in Europe. They do it in other countries where people are punished in public view. People were stoned in public view. And people wasn't just doing it. They did it because, hey, this person broke the law or this person is not following the rules. So we have to do this publicly. You know what would happen to me if I decided to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, today or this month, I'm not going to pay anything towards this house. You know, I would be homeless very quickly. Do you know that? The same thing would happen to you, right? So we don't want to be living in the street. We don't want to be sleeping on the concrete floor. We don't want to be sleeping at the bus stop. We don't want to be sleeping in a vehicle. So what do? We pay what we have to pay, right? Even if it is hurting our pocketbook. It's hurting our ego. It's hurting our pride. What happens if you go into a store right now with a gun and rob it? Would you A, be killed, or 2, be captured later on and put in prison? So there's 2 different things that can happen to you, but either one is called, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And I don't care what nobody say about Farmer Nancy. They have been doing this to her for a couple of years. Been coming after her. Didn't someone dox her not too long ago? They put out all her information. I think it was Kev Lowe, right? Kev Lowe is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He mad at this lady for some pretend reason. He's mad at her because of what Kwame Brown tells him to do. Even when they were in that so-called beef, Kwame Brown takes care of his family. He might not have done anything for them too much in the past, but he's here now, he's present now, and they want Farmer Nancy out of the way. You ever ask yourself why? Why is she such a threat? I'm going to tell you why she's a threat. She's a threat because she's coming up with a concept and an idea that a lot of the men in the sector don't want to do. That's why. It got nothing to do with who got a car wash. It got nothing to do about the cow Zella. It's something that she put out there on Front Street. That's a good idea. Get land, build a farm. Work the farm. People need to support it. Because if it wasn't for the farmers in this country, we would all go hungry. A couple of weeks ago, the United States government told 42 million people in this country to fucking kick rocks. Because they had a government shutdown, because they had an emotional meltdown. All these things are predated and pre-planned. Shout out to the chat. What happens to the homeless population when they're out there too long? Let's say they don't have a job. Let's say they're not good at panhandling. What happens to them? They get hungry, don't they? Sometimes they get desperate, don't they? Sometimes they commit crimes just so they can go to jail. I've seen people do it. I've seen people do it. And that's a reality. That's real. Arabia. Let me read what Purple Paw. Let me read what she's saying. Arabia. Hold on. Let me read you. Let me read what you're saying. Arabia. No. I'm telling you, it's just like the way I'm saying. She came out, she stood out, she said, hey, I got an idea, I got a concept. And she's been saying it for years. She hasn't just started and say, you know what, I'm just going to, start a perform. She's been doing the work for years. I don't see none of these other men doing any type of work. Everyone see what type of work I do. Okay, if I want to show what type of work I do during the week, don't I show you guys? Don't I put on the equipment? Don't I go to the sites? Don't I tell you if either I'm on the bus or I'm walking? Remember those mornings, Just Jay, we walked to work? Lonnie remembers. Lonnie, you remember? Uncle L. She's showing the work. Farmer Nancy is showing the work. She's showing exactly what is going on her channel. Kev Lowe, Kwame Brown, TJ, and whoever else is a hater is trying to discredit her. They're trying to take away her support. I be damned. I'm a die and go to hell, and I'm going to support who I want to support. If I want to support Farmer Nancy, guess what? I want to support Farmer Nancy. I'm not going to be supporting no fucking Kev Lowe. I'm not going to be supporting no goddamn Kwame Brown. I'm not going to support TJ and no other Kwamite that thinks they're all that. Farmer Nancy, I've been knowing Farmer Nancy for a long time. Over 3 years now, right, Lonnie? I've been knowing you 3 years. Keep the Change 3 years. Lovely Star 3 years. Sis 3 years. Tamika 3 years. Letitia 3 years. There's a lot of you who've been here on this app for a long time. Whether you have met me in passing or not, you know a little bit about me. You know a little bit about, you know whether I go to work or not. Sometimes I'll announce, well, today is Monday, so today is going to be a slow day, and I'm not wasting my time getting on the bus or walking downtown. Or I'll say it'll be a Tuesday or Wednesday. You know what, you guys? I really need to go out and make me some money. Sometimes you ride with me on the bus. Sometimes you walk with me. Sometimes you go to the store with me. If I'm not careful, you'll be in the bathroom with me. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Kev Lowe shows his work, but why Kev Lowe can't ask for help, and that's all Kev Lowe does is ask for help. All Kev Lowe do is beg. Ever since he's been on this platform, that's all he's been doing. Sometimes I'll ask people to hit the Cash App, but not as much as he does. The man is monetized. The man still expect people to pay for his fucking lifestyle. Shout out to the chat. Hey, Mrs. V, what's up? Yeah, happy Monday to everyone. Yeah, Lonnie, I see exactly what you're talking about. But I see the game plan, Lonnie. What they're trying to do, they're trying to destroy Farmer Nancy. For what reason? We all know. Because Kwame Brown got a problem with her. That's why. It seemed like he got more problem with the females than the males. Because I don't really never see him coming after the men like the way he do the women. I'm sick of it. Yeah, honey, you know how many, you know, I tell you, man. But you know what, Lonnie? A lot of people won't ask for help. They might be crumbling. These shit might be on the verge of being, closed down forever. And they don't know when they're going to get the next one or next bit of luck. So some people won't ask for help at all. At least she did. Farmer Nancy comes out with what she's doing. Kev Lowe, he just want people to see him washing a little piece of car. We don't see him all day washing cars. We don't know what this dude is doing. We don't know what this dude is doing. And he got the nerve to criticize someone else. I can't stand a dude like Kev Lowe. And he got a lot of female energy. He got a lot of female energy. And I mean that on my mama. I mean that for real, for real. I see what I see. Talking about he got people lined up to help her. Where are these people? They're not going to help her because he coming out putting salt on her, putting salt on her name. And he's doing it because of Kwame Brown. I see everything. Oh, I was in that chat this morning, Lonnie. I would listen to everything Kev Love with his punk ass had to say about Farmer Nancy, and I thought that was fucked up. And when Bishop came up there to let him know the business, didn't he drop Bishop off the panel? He dropped Bishop off the link. I saw that too. Yeah, man. Because somebody mentioned him this morning. I said, let me go over there and look. I went over there and looked. This motherfucker had on a red hat, a country bunking hat, got the nerve to criticize a woman on this app. The nerve. And there's other people. I think Moonlight went live earlier. She had some words for Kev Lowe. She had some words. And I agree with Moonlight. Don't stop. Don't tell people not to support someone because you don't want to support them. I hate when people do that. I hate when people throw salt on people. I hate when people got a little campfire going and here comes some hater. They taking a pail of water and putting it on the fire, or they taking some dirt and putting it on the fire, putting the fire out. And they don't know if that was that last person's match or not. She not doing nothing negative. She not fucking with nobody. She not bothering nobody. And here come the storm. I think I talked about this storm coming a few months ago in a short video when I saw the same thing being done to another young lady in this sector. And I'm sorry to tell you, ladies, if you're powerful enough and you're smart, they're going to come for you. And there's nothing I can do. Only thing I can do is keep supporting. Because I refuse to lose. I refuse. People supported Tanya TKO a few years ago. Tanya TKO recently moved into a new residence. I thought she was in a place already. Because the last time I looked, Tanya TKO became homeless in 2015. She was supposed to have went and got a place. I wasn't really sure or very clear if she did get a place, but she did do a video not too long ago where she said she's moving in her new residence. So what happened after all those years? 2015. Well, and I remember when she had her goal, there was a lot of YouTube creators at that time who were saying that she was a scam. She was lying to her audience. And when Tommy stepped in, he stepped in. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Even some YouTube creators that were going against Tanya TKO, they were donating. They didn't want the whole world to know that they were donating. They didn't want the whole world to know they were helping. But they were talking shit about that person. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. So we got Mrs. V. She's in the building. Purple Heart Podcast. Shout out to you. Empress Lonnie One Love. Uncle L. Shalana Point of View, a.k.a. The the Empress Lonnie One Love. And you got Highly Favored. You got Just Jay in the building. And you got Grizzy. Grizzy is in the building. Shout out, shout out. Yeah, that's the only thing I came up to say. I ain't come up to say nothing else. I wanted to talk about why there's a homeless population, why there are prisons, and of course notice that the chessboard game is going on these YouTube streets. I'm not blind, but I know what I know. Shout out to Farmer Nancy. Shout out. And that just goes to prove that even if you're doing something positive, you're still going to have haters. People that want people to doubt, want people to falter, want people to second guess their decision. Nah. Once you in it, you in it. That's the way I figure. Once I support someone, I like to continue to support. Shout out to the chat. That's just my feeling. That's just my opinion. Yup, you got that right, Lonnie. He's a character. He certainly is a character. Yup. Absolutely. Yeah, there's always something like that going on, man. Yeah. So that's the only thing I wanted to say. Because I feel frustrated for Farmer Nancy. Because I know she ain't do nothing wrong to these people. And here they come with their rocks and their stones and their bombs and their crucifix and their fire. Because she dared to open her mouth. That's why. A voice crying out in the wilderness, and the hopes that no one hears the voice. They hope the voice will become a whisper and then nothing at all. I've seen it over and over and over. Shout out to the chat. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. Enjoy the rest of their day. Peace out. One.